Electricast.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, you are about to listen to the most entertaining and informative wrestling podcast out there. That is not a prediction, it is a spoiler, and this is Kayfab Critics. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Kayfab Critics. I am Michael Marcangelo, joined by my guy, Hollywood Rayshawn Buchanan, and we are here to talk about the road to WrestleMania and to preview WrestleMania 40, which will emanate live from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. We will have a correspondent on the ground, your resident WrestleMania traveler, Ray. Before we get into everything, how excited are you for this year's WrestleMania?
Man, it's good to be back, in that scene. The last one I went to was 38, and obviously seeing Stone Cold for the first time since I was a child, and Cody Rhodes returning, and obviously seeing my guys Seth freaking Rollins. It's fun. Like I said, last year, I just have a good feeling about going out to LA, so I was just like, let me just not go. But Philly was too close, and I told you that on the phone. I was like, look, either we're both going or I'm going. And I was like, yeah. So I have to keep. I feel like I have to keep the streak going at this moment until we're able to go together. Obviously, We've been to other events together, but now eventually we'll get there, together. But it's fine. But yeah, no, I'm excited, man. It's they've done some really good work to put this card together, and I love a majority of the storylines, and I'm excited for a majority of the matches. So I can't wait to get into it.
Yeah, I think before we get into talking about the actual card, it's been a little while since we were on together. We were on Kayfab. So I'd love to talk about just the road to WrestleMania and everything that's happened since the Rumble. Obviously, for those of you that live under a rock, Cody Rhodes won his second Royal Rumble match back to back. The first time that's happened, I think since since Shawn did it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, no, or was it? Or no, it was Austin. Austin did it in 97, 98.
98, yeah.
So first time in 26 years, he wins the men's Royal Rumble. Everyone thinks that the next night or the following next week on Raw or SmackDown, he's going to come out and challenge Roman Reigns. But he took counsel in somebody, and somebody who knew Roman Reigns very well. Insert The Rock. The Rock comes back, and what a backlash they got from that. This is what really pisses me off about wrestling fans, because we've been clamoring for The Rock versus Roman for 3 years.
Yep.
They give it to us.
Yep.
And then and then we collectively, I'm going to say we, not you and I, but we as wrestling fans, we shit all over it.
No, not that way. Not that way.
We shit all over it. There was instant backlash. So what did you make of that entire situation initially when Cody didn't challenge Roman and The Rock kind of inserted himself into that?
So at first, I got swerved a little bit, because at first I was like, wait a minute, like there's no way you're gonna have this man win back to back and they do something different. But then it made me think like, oh, okay, like this is gonna lead to whether it's at SummerSlam or next year's Mania, we're gonna see Roman versus Rock, and it's probably gonna be a 2-part or maybe even a trilogy. So we'll see. Depending on the time frame that the Rock has in between making any movies. So no, listen, anytime I get to see a legend like The Rock, once again, I enjoyed his last run, but I moved to Miami when he was in that run, so I didn't really watch or keep up as much. But now that I'm here, and obviously we do the show, like I'm heavily invested, man. Like he looks great. He's starting to get his legs back when it comes to his mic work. That John Morant line was one of a kind. It's like, I said, damn. I said, man, I said, what a line, what a shot. And I'm like, that was awesome to see. So yeah, no, and once again, I get it. Like I want Cody to finish the story too. Once again, you could watch clips from our show last year, and you can see how excited we were to have Cody finish. I think you were more so like the reign, pun intended, should continue for Roman Reigns. So I was on opposite sides of the spectrum there, but I'm equally as excited as I was last year to see Cody finish the story. but then we got to talk about different scenarios as the show goes on.
I just think like just the perfect encapsulation of how frantic we are as wrestling fans.
Mm-hmm.
Raw day one, The Rock comes out, right? You
Mm-hmm.
know, the Rock's going to go out to dinner. Should he sit at a booth? Should he sit at the bar? Or
Mm-hmm.
should he sit at the head of
Had
the
it
table?
all.
The place goes fucking nuts, right?
Right.
3 weeks later, they're booing him. So, how good of a job do you think WWE has done at pivoting and also giving us a valid reason for why the pivot happens?
Oh, I mean, it was great. I mean, I think they probably felt at a point, they were at a point that, like, there's no way in 2024 you're booing The Rock. But once again, Cody is that fucking over. He
Yep.
is. He's that over. And fans want change. I mean, I feel like we want change every 5, 6 months, but like this, I mean, people are at a standstill. Well, not everybody, but there's a good amount that's at a standstill with the Bloodline storyline. This was a very nice wrinkle to it for sure, and I think that we're gonna see a couple more stories to come. But like so, once again, we'll touch on that later on. But no, they've done phenomenal with that. And once again, you don't miss out on having him be a part of the main event if he's available. You don't do that. Once again, we just saw Stone Cold miss 19 years. He missed 19 years and came back, had a great match with Kevin Owens, right? Night one, you know, I was there. I almost fell out my chair. That's something you're gonna hear a couple times in the show. I fell out my chair going back and forth trying to see, you know, when he came out and hit him with the stunner, like that was great. And no one batted an eye. What's different
Right.
now? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what's different? Like, we saw a legend there. We're gonna see a legend close out the show in night one. You can rest assured he's gonna be a part of night two. We don't know to what extent, but he damn sure will be part of night two.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, listen, enjoy the ride. It's the 25th anniversary of him and Stone Cold main eventing at WrestleMania 15. Oh, in what city? In Philadelphia. What do you
Right.
know? So maybe The Rock is finishing his story.
the the differences between Stone Cold and The Rock, though,
Mm,
I guess people didn't get upset with Austin because he actually gave a spot to Kevin Owens on that Mania, right?
yeah,
I think initially people were thinking that The Rock was taking Cody's spot, which
yeah,
again is so stupid for two reasons. One, it's The Rock.
right.
Number two, Cody's over. He's gonna be over for a very long time. Like
Right.
he's seen a level over right now.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
But
yeah.
this pivot, it gave us the thing that we never thought that we'd see again, right? 21 years later, and we're seeing Hollywood heel Rock.
The best.
So, what have you thought of his heel run? Not only you know, the entrance music, but that first night when he came back and he was wearing one of his old button downs.
Yeah, I mean, listen, when I heard I missed the actual, taping of it because I was working the night that he came back with the theme, and then, you know, we saw the message from Craig and someone else that tagged me in it, and I heard I was like, "Yo," like, I'm like, "What?" That that's crazy. I was like, the thunder, lightning type, I mean, like, the whole entrance was just amazing, so I love that they went back to it that quickly because I was just like, you can't just keep having "If You Smell," because people are gonna, even though they're mad, they're still gonna sing along, you
Right.
know, to "If You Smell," with the like, people are still gonna get hyped. So you had to change back to that theme. And once again, it was a smart move on Hunter's behalf and who made that decision. But yeah, I've loved every bit of it. Once again, verbally, he wasn't there yet, but that promo at Memphis let me know, like, yeah, he's back in the game. And I can't wait to hear more one liners. Uh, you know, we'll see if he does any live shows, but I really like where he's at right now. He's starting to catch his rhythm again.
Yeah, well, he's coming back. He's going to do one more, at least the Go Home Raw in Brooklyn. So that's going to be awesome. Like we just
Yeah.
know that that's going to be great. But one of the things that I want to talk about before we get into again the card is it feels like with The Rock and with his run so far, they have loosened their guidelines, and he has not been PG at all. But he told Phoenix, Arizona, meth heads, crackheads.
Man, man, man.
He told
And the crowd,
he told the women in Utah that he was going to slap the herpes off their lip. I mean, this was old school Rock. Do you think that that they're doing it just because it's him, or do you think they're kind of testing the waters because Raw is going to Netflix later this year? They're not going to have to worry about
Yeah.
PG guidelines on Netflix.
Yeah, it's a mix of both. Like, I just think to me, if you have Joe Rock, you can't have him be a PG guy. Like, yeah, I remember the Canadian Moose Piss line years ago. Like, I remember, like, it's like you gotta have those moments. So I'm here for it, and I can't wait for it to go to Netflix full time. Like, I have my subscription ready to go. I'm like, I got the full ready, baby. I
Yeah.
am ready to watch it. I assume SmackDown will be on there too, right? Is SmackDown gonna be on there
No,
too?
SmackDown signed like a $500 million deal or whatever, or $1 billion deal with USA.
Oh, got you. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So, I mean, and USA was letting them stretch it a little bit. So I wouldn't be surprised if eventually SmackDown gets back to what it was. And I mean, I don't know about you, but, and I mean, we're from the same era. Uh, SmackDown would be, and after a while, by the time I was 13, 14, like, that was the show I was watching more. Like, SmackDown
Yep.
was the show. So yeah, maybe they get back to that with that new deal. But yeah, no, I listen, I hope they continue to let him go crazy. I let him go crazy, say whatever. Once again, he's at a point now where there's not much you can say that's gonna hurt his brand, unless you say something that's like, offensive to a group of people. But he's gonna, like I said, that, yeah. When he said that in Arizona, I was like, oh, like they I was like, wait, did they approve that to say, oh, you meth heads here and there? I was like, okay, all right. But the crowd was laughing because I'm like, it's our era. Like, we find that funny. It's these new waves like, you can't say that online. And
Yeah, oh, yeah.
it's like, and me and my buddy Mark, we're gonna stop watching. It's like, yo, like, relax, relax. It's just like, calm down. Like Roman said years ago, calm down, take a sip of your beer, just enjoy the show, relax.
The best,
That's where I'm at.
the best wrinkle for him so far, though, has been his social media promos, right?
Yeah.
Because I mean, that 21-minute promo that he put on Instagram, I think it was before the Salt Lake City show, was awesome.
Yeah.
But when he said, Cody, man to man, from the bottom of my heart, fuck your story.
Beautiful.
That is, he's still the best heel in the business if he wants to be. And
Yeah.
it's the hardest thing for him to do because he's so well liked. Like, it's really hard to boo The Rock, but after the Rock concert and his awesome, John Morant line, and then he gets into the actual serious promo when he's saying awful things. He's going to hand a bloodied belt to Cody Rhodes' mama, and all he's going to do is whisper into her ear, what can I say except you're welcome? Now he's tagging in fucking Disney. I mean, this guy he's awesome.
Yeah. Hey, you're welcome. What? I was like, what a dick. Like,
I mean, he's turning the movie Moana heel. He's doing it.
Yeah. And it's crazy because the kids love it, but he's like, you know what? Sorry. And mind you, Moana 2 is gonna come out. They got
I know.
another one coming out. So I'm like, yeah, listen, once again, as bad as I want Cody to win, and I hope he does win, like I said, I am fully enjoying what I'm seeing week in and week out. Like, I can't, I honestly think this leads to a Rollins and Rock feud as well too.
I hope it does.
I hope it does. Yeah,
that's what I was going to say.
I think, yeah, because Seth verbally has gotten so much better. And once again, I mean, him and AJ Styles are my two personal favorites right now. When they've been for a while, I personally think Seth Rollins is the best in business. I have said it on the show. I've said it on other people's shows. I think he is the best in business, in my opinion. And that old man line refused to go. He's there. And I was like, I hope this leads to that. Like, I would take that at SummerSlam. Like,
Mr. Midlife Crisis. Like,
so good.
Just let
so
them
good.
just let them go. Let them go.
Yeah.
Like, you had your era, you can't have ours. Like, let's just see what happens with those two with the live microphone.
It'd be him and Cena again. It'd be him and Cena. Because like I said, Rollins can carry. Yeah, as I say, and I saw someone comment earlier, and sorry, I don't remember the handle, so sorry, I'm taking your line, but I feel like it's true. You may disagree because of who I'm about to bring up, but they said Rollins is in the Shawn Michaels era right now. I said, yeah, I think he can't fucking miss. Every match is non. He doesn't miss. He doesn't miss promos. He doesn't miss matches. He doesn't miss. It doesn't matter who you put him in a program with. He's going to deliver it every single time.
Yep.
So
100%.
it's good. Yep.
What other storylines have you been a fan of on the road to WrestleMania? I mean, obviously the next one in my mind is Drew and Seth.
Oh yeah, listen, him, yo, Drew McIntyre, like, not to say that his character was coming stale because I feel like Drew is he's putting in some really good matches. We talked about it last year. That triple threat with him, Gunther, and
Sheamus.
what was it? Sheamus. The Sheamus was that to me was that might have been the best match of the night too. People may disagree because of how the ending, what the ending was, but I'm sorry, I'm like that match was excellent. To have three big guys like that really steal the show. But yeah, just to see what how he's been messing with CM Punk. I remember when they said he got hurt and he was like, I got hurt. Like, what do you think I am? CM Punk? What? Like, once again, what a dick. But that is awesome. That is awesome television. I wish, like, I granted, we don't know the severity of it. Like, if it's a work or shoot, who knows? But it'd be great to have CM Punk come in there and ruin Drew McIntyre's moment. That would be great. That would be great storytelling. Books their match for SummerSlam, but works, builds their storyline. That would be awesome. Because like I said, we were going to get Seth and CM Punk, but obviously it didn't work out that way. But yeah, no, that's easily the next best story going on right now. Because it's kind of like, oh, like, you're forgetting about me. You're worried about getting Roman and The Rock, but you're going to forget about me. I'm going to remind you, and I just wait for that. So,
I think the missing element for Drew, I think if you just summed his career up in a whole, has always been the mic work. But the last 8 months, it has not been. He has been on fucking fire. We record this on Monday, March 25th, the night that Raw is emanating from Chicago. CM Punk is there. Drew McIntyre is there. He's been trolling all of CM Punk's restaurants that he's recommended. The one that he recommended in the press conference where he got kicked out of AEW. He went to the bakery. They were closed. I mean, he's shit all over it. It's hysterical. Like, he's so good. Again, his contract is up in May. Sign him. Like, renew that. Oh, do not let him go anywhere else because he could be a guy for you for the next 5 years.
Right, but I'm like, but everything turned for him at Clash of the Castle. I mean, people say the Royal Rumble because he won it. But I'm saying, like, when people saw, okay, he's really a main event player, was at Clash of the Castle, where I thought he should have won. And I get it, the historic reign, I get it. But I'm like, that crowd, one, that felt like a WrestleMania crowd. So shout out to Wales for their energy that night. But man, when he hit him with that Claymore for the second time, and it was like I'm like 1, 2, and then Solo was like, fuck. So, I was like, ah. But yeah, I think that's what changed everything for him. So he's been on one since then, and that's almost 2 years that happened. It's funny. A lot of stuff happened at that night that's built. So him on his character build, Dom's turn that night at Clash of the Castle, Edge putting him over. Like, there's a lot of stuff that happened that night that's built, that set up what's going on now. So I love the fact that they're back at long term storytelling, because like it's the best, whether people are thinking or not.
Yep, 100%. All right, so let's get into the card, but let's just save the 3 matches that we know, like their spots. So obviously we know the tag match, main event night 1. We'll talk about that probably last. We'll do. We know that it's Seth and Drew, and then it's Cody and Roman in night 2. So let's start off with Jimmy versus Jay, the Battle of the Usos. This is a WrestleMania 10-ish tradition. WrestleMania 10, Owen versus Brett. WrestleMania 20, Kane versus Taker. And now we have WrestleMania 40 with Jimmy versus Jay. If you would have asked me or told me a year ago or a year and a half ago that Jey Uso was going to be the second most over person from the bloodline, I would have said that you're crazy. But he's the main event. Jey Uso just turned it on. So how are you feeling about the build to this, and what do you think is going to happen?
I mean, you saw me at the lab event. I was with you. I'm fully bought in on Jey Uso. Like, I wish I could share the video, but I'm like, you can hear me yelling main event Jey in Zenio City. Like, I was there at SummerSlam last year when he main evented with Roman for the title. 55,000. Like, once again, there was people who were like, oh, yeah, let's go, Roman. But when you hear that, ooh, so, dude, and like, I'm telling you, 55,000 was going up and down. Like, I can't wait to see 75, 80,000. Trouble. It's just me. Ooh, like, that's going to be insane. I hope I don't lose my phone because like, I gotta make sure to keep my phone steady. I gotta keep it steady. But yeah, Jimmy's does some great work too. No Yeet. I wish they had kept him a little more serious going into this, but his community work has been awesome in this next stint with coming back to the bloodline. So yeah, I would open with them personally. I'd open. I think that's you set the tone. If you want to do that night one, I think I would open with them. Whether it's night one or night two, I don't know, but I would open with that match. And I think they would bring the house down or will bring the house down.
Who wins?
Jay.
Yeah, it has to be Jay, right?
Yeah, have Jay, yeah.
Because Jimmy doesn't get helped by beating Jay. Jay gets really hurt by losing to Jimmy.
Yep. So yeah, Jay, yeah. Yep.
So here's where I'll disagree. Yep. I think that this next match I'm about to mention should open night one. And it should be the man, Becky Lynch versus mommy, Rhea Ripley. That's how you set the tone. Yeah, because if you can't close it, you want to open. And these two deserve to open. I love Rhea. You know that I've been high up on Rhea Ripley for years, but I also love Becky Lynch. I love the twist in this of Becky saying, "I think you might be better than me." Like that is. They don't often do that in main event storylines, and I'm glad that they did it. Becky's gone above and beyond in this run on the road to WrestleMania. Jumping off the ladder with the leg drop to Nia Jax, and I just think Rhea Ripley she's in like Charlotte Flair territory, where she's pretty untouchable. She's pretty untouchable when it comes to this. So I would open night one with that, and I would have Rhea beat her. Yeah, and that's tough for me to say.
Well, only reason why I just to give Rhea another WrestleMania moment. Then if you want to set up Rhea Becky 2 at SummerSlam and have Becky win, cool. And have like the trilogy at Royal Rumble, fine. I'm fine with that. I'm totally cool with that. Let them go on a year-long program. I think that would work out fine. But maybe have them over them night 2 then, maybe. But I just like I said maybe. So I didn't think of it that way. I was thinking of it as a co-main event because I feel like they're that good that they can get the co-main event spot. But like I said, you're right. If you can, just very much like her husband, when her husband, talk about Becky, when her husband opens the show, he always delivers. So yeah, that's the case. Then so if that's the case, then do that. But like either matches we just talked about, like you can't go wrong starting with those because the crowd's gonna be invested from the jump. So
next match, Bayley versus Io Sky. I think that, when you think about it, and I think you and I talked about this back in when we were going through Survivor Series. Bayley, when you think of Bayley, the first thing I think about is the inflatables, right? And it's her walking out and being just like the baby face, like the pure white meat baby face. She's been a heel far longer than she's been a baby face in WWE. Like it's been a long time. And
it's been for 5 years, yeah.
For Tropicana Field to blow the roof off of that place when she won shows you how much people love her. And honestly, I thought that this was going to be kind of like a throwaway match, but I love Io Sky. I think they've done a really good job making her like this slimy champion, right? That just always wins, but never beats up the opponent. I think Bayley has to win this match, doesn't she?
She has to, but we all know if there's anyone that's going to throw us a curveball, it's Hunter. And I can totally see Io retaining. And then once again, it sets up. Like I said, I feel like that's what's happening now. Like, not too many people are losing their championships like in a short run. Like they're having, 6, 7, 8 months runs with the title.
This would be a 6 or 7 month run. Io won at SummerSlam.
Oh, that's right. I was there. Yeah. Yeah, that's true. I mean, once again, she's had. I don't think they see her as a transitional champion. I do think Bayley is due though, because my God, for her to come back, she put on Damage Control her being the leader gave them credit, gave that group credibility. So yeah, maybe they repay her by saying, "Hey, this is your moment," which while she won the Royal Rumble, and then she goes on to win, in a couple of weeks. So I would love that for her. Once again, we've talked about this before on the show. She was a part of the greatest women's match that we've ever seen, and you're talking to guys that watched Trisha Lita and some other great women at that time. But then she was one half of the greatest wrestling match I've ever seen. So we know she can deliver. I think they're gonna have a great match. Once again, what I want is the ability to go over, but I think he overtains
But also,
whatever
like,
happens.
Bailey, we obviously that this is all under the scheme that it's a work, right? But Bailey's
Right.
been telling us for 3 years or however long that damage control was meant to get the other people over, and she did. I would argue every woman in damage control and every incarnation of damage control, Bailey has made sure that they're bigger than her the
Yeah.
entire time, that's really hard to do. And that shows you how good of a performer she is. I think that this match is where, because you're going to have the Kabuki Warriors at some point in time come out during the match.
Right.
I think we're going to see Naomi and Jade Cargill come out and defend Bailey. Like, that's going to be the big introduction of Jade.
Right. Yeah.
That would do.
Uh, yeah. That I mean that would be cool. I mean, I know she's coming on SmackDown next this Friday.
Yeah.
The record is on the 25th of March. So yeah, that would be awesome. That would be awesome to see, and then what that leads to for the tag team division as well. But yeah, that would be dope. So there's many ways they can go with it, but we'll see how it unfolds.
So you're picking EO to go over.
Yeah, like I said, I want Billy to win, but I think Io Sky wins.
Yep. All right. So next match is that we was talking about is the Ring General
Mhm.
Gunther, and he's going against Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn kind of felt like before, he was inserted into the Intercontinental title picture that he was going to be off the card, especially after last year's WrestleMania where he main evented night one in that awesome tag match against the Usos. I don't like this is going to be a really good match. I love both competitors. This should be Chad Gable.
Yeah, yeah. No, I'm with you. Yeah, you said it for me. I was disappointed in this when I saw that Sami Zayn won, and that's crazy coming from what we've seen him do the last year and some change. In event, you could have made it a triple threat. Like you
Right.
could have had Abel, Zayn, and Gunther for the title. And maybe they went this route because we already saw they gave it to us for free on Raw, but I'm like Chad Gable put on a great match against them. So I don't get why they didn't go back to that route.
And then
In
and
my
then why like it's Triple H so far has not really booked himself into a corner in WWE, since the takeover.
Mm,
But like I felt like they did in this spot because they had Chad Gable release those vignettes about how important it was to his family and for him to come back and beat Gunther, right? And then they had him lose to Sammy. Like, no knock on Sammy, but don't put yourself in a position where you could not make this a triple threat, and it feels like they have,
yeah,
right?
right,
Because
right.
that triple threat match would have surpassed last year's triple threat match for different reasons. Last year's was hard hitting. This year's would have been too. But could you imagine what those three would do in a WrestleMania match with let's just call it 15 minutes?
Right, but the story that would have been told, especially if Gable was going to be the one going over, like the story, I mean, it wouldn't have been Daniel Bryan level, but it would have been pretty freaking close. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So I just feel like eventually he deserves his moment, just like Sami Zayn deserves his moment. Once again, maybe this is what they're saying because of what happened. I mean, I know he got his moment at Elimination Chamber in Montreal last year, where I mean, I thought that crowd was gonna, kill Roman Reigns if he didn't, if he retained, but he got out there unscathed. But man, yeah, like I said, yeah, Hunter missed he missed the boat on this one, in my opinion. And once again, that's gonna happen. Every decision is not gonna be great. And I'm sure him and Chad Gable have had conversations about, what can happen, what can't happen. But yeah, I think to me, eventually you got to give Gable a spot. I know the Alpha Academy has become a face now as a group. to me, I would this is where if I'm them, I'd book it where Gable comes out and maybe costs Sami Zayn and then turns heel.
Yeah,
Because if you're not gonna do anything with him as a face when he's white hot right now, and the fans, like I said, want to see him in that spot, like what are we doing?
I don't think you can turn him heel again because he was a heel and he was just so damn entertaining that people started cheering him. You
Thank
know?
you.
Yeah, like it's just too hard to boo. So the matchup we're gonna get is Sami Zayn versus Gunther. I think it's gonna be a fantastic match. I think Gunther should win, but I think they're gonna give it to Sammy.
Mm. I think the reign continues. You know,
I hope you're right.
and I think the reign continues. Once again, I don't know who they're gonna have eventually beat him. Listen, he has been amazing during his run. He has put on great match after great match after great match. And, like I said, he's the ring general for a reason. And, I just love to hear Samantha Irvin say, you know, and Bill, your intercontinental champion, the ring general. Cool. Like, yeah, it's awesome. Like, and then that his entrance overall grew on me because at first I was like, oh, it's kind of whack. But like when I saw it at 39 last year and, you know, uh, Lower Kaiser came up there, I demand all your gratitude. Like, just, yeah, like it was, yeah, this
It's
layout,
just so
that
good.
was awesome. So good. So, yeah, I'm ready for the end still. Your Intercontinental Champion, the ring general for sure.
I'm with you. All right, next match, triple threat match for the United States Championship. We have KO Kevin Owens versus the
Mhm.
Viper Randy Orton versus the Maverick Logan Paul.
Oh, yeah.
This this is a
Yeah,
big match for him to be in.
it is. So that means you got to have him go over. He has to retain. He has to. If you're gonna make him a believable character, and he's proven that he's taking it seriously. Like
Oh
that's
yeah,
out the window. So fans are like, oh no. We from the match that he had at Crown Jewel against
Roman.
Roman in 2022, like we've seen him grow. His match against Ricochet at SummerSlam was really good last year too. So he does what he does. Like he's not gonna come in there and be a bruiser, but he's someone that's gonna he's gonna get the cheap heat. He's gonna be someone that you can't stand. I hope it gets beat up, but at the end of the day, he finds a way to get it done. And I just think to me, yeah, this is a really good spot to be in if you're him. It shows the trust that Triple H is putting in him and the whole
Yeah.
organization uh, as a whole. So yeah, I'm excited for it. I think that I'm happy for Randy to be back in this spot and WrestleMania. Just try to protect him too, because obviously he's still coming back from injury. So yeah, we all know that Kevin Owens. Uh, there's not a match that he hasn't been in that I don't say, man, he brings it. So he brings it every time. But once again, if you're gonna make Logan, if you're gonna have his character build be serious, you have to have him retain, that night.
And there's going to be some crazy shit that happens in this match. This is a triple threat, so that means there's no disqualifications, no count out.
Right.
KO likes jumping off of shit. Logan Paul loves jumping off of shit. And we have Randy Orton can hit an RKO out of nowhere.
Nowhere. Yeah.
So like this has all the makings to steal the show. Right.
Yeah.
Whatever night it's on.
I can't wait for because Logan Paul reminds me of a more polished Evan Bourne. That's a casual name drop for those that used to watch in the late 2000s, early 2010s. I don't know if he could hit the airborne because that was a hell of a move. I used to love seeing him perform that with Eric Kofi.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a great time. But I would love him to hit a move like that, and then Randy Orton hit the RKO off that and set up for the pin. But yeah, that'd be great. So,
Are you
so we'll
surprised
see.
that after being gone for a year and a half, that this is the spot that Randy Orton is in at Mania, or do you think that it makes a lot of sense for him to be here?
No, it makes sense. I think that he probably can't do a singles match right now, and that's okay. I think he'll build up to that. I'm
You
still in
really
the
don't,
back of my
you really don't think that he can do a singles match right now?
not the way that he would want to. Like I feel like
Really?
by SummerSlam, I feel like by SummerSlam he'll be like really rocking and ready to roll. I'm just saying, just for the performer that I've seen him be, we've seen him be, like, I just feel like by SummerSlam, whether it's the breath control, whether it's the, like, obviously, like, in his mind, he can work through any situation. He is by far the smoothest performer of his generation. It's
Yep.
not close. He doesn't make mistakes in the ring. So maybe from that standpoint, yes, but I think that I think that, like I said, he's inching closer to what he was. Like I say, he looks in great shape, but I feel like he's still probably another PLE or two away from being back to being Randy for real. But like I say, he looks great. Like I said, I'm sure they'll get 15, 16 minutes for that match. And like I said, they'll protect him by, like I said, they're protecting him by doing a triple threat. And then, like I said, we'll see. Maybe he goes over,
I
maybe he
don't.
doesn't. But I think that, once again, he's gonna perform great. I'm just saying, I just think that from where he may want to be doing like a 25-minute match, he's been a main eventer so many times. He's been a guy that has stolen a show. I just think that maybe, he's not completely there yet, but he will be, in my opinion.
Did you see the way that he sold at Elimination Chamber? I mean, he had the entire planet at 4:00 in the morning thinking
Mhm.
that he re-injured his back, that he couldn't move.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
8 minutes later, he gets up and hit an RKO out of fucking nowhere.
Nowhere. Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
it was
So good.
beautiful, beautiful. I think Logan Paul has to win the match. I think Logan Paul's going to win the match. I think that makes the most sense. We have the undisputed WWE Tag Team Championship 6-pack ladder match. So we have obviously the Judgment Day versus DIY versus the New Day versus Awesome Truth. And then we have two other teams that have yet to be decided because, this is as of March 25th. This, again, this is going to be something fucking unreal. Like, Johnny Gargano is going to kill himself, right? He's just going to, and I think is Dom in this match, or is it Finn and Damian Priest?
It's probably Finn and Damian Priest. Those are the guys that have been in the match. Yeah. So
Okay.
I'm sure Dom will be obviously, included, obviously, but I don't think that. I think it'll be Finn and Priest, and then Dom will be on the outside.
And I'm hoping that we get the Street Profits in there, and I'm hoping that if we can get how I don't know how to pronounce this. Is it Legado del Fantasma?
Oh, Fantasma, yeah.
Yeah, get those guys in
Yeah.
there too. Then we'll be in a good spot.
So we might miss, but are we getting Santos Mysterio for Mania?
No, we're gonna go on SmackDown.
Got you. That should have been on the card because the story's there. The story's there. You were my
The notion
mentor.
is,
Like,
right now that the thought is that there's going to be 14 total matches, and they've only announced 10 so far.
got you. Okay. Well, that should be number, to me. That should be on the card. There's a story there. It's not like so that's that. But but we'll see. I wonder who the other two teams would be. But I'm like that. I mean, like I said, I would love to see a New Day get another run. I've always enjoyed their title runs.
I think it's time for DIY.
Yeah, I mean, there doesn't seem that's due. I forgot they were even back together. Honestly, I haven't seen much of Gargano or Ciampa, but but they had a great run in NXT, obviously, so it's good. I think it's hilarious that Awesome Truth is back together after all these years.
So funny.
It's so good. It's just like, Tom and Nick Mysterio. You don't know them, man.
Like, he can get it. I mean, again, talk about the guy that can get anything over. It's him. Anything.
Yeah. I mean, he got an imaginary friend over.
Little
He got
Jimmy.
little Jimmy over.
Yep.
Like, that, like, that's one of my, like, we speak about one of my non-favorite big four main events. That Capital Punishment in 2011, him against Cena for the title. Like, I was like, that was, love the build up to that. Like, it was great. It was, what happened, man? It used to be cool. Joester is a big as a wrestler for like, oh, I'm excited. This is gold. So, but that should be a good match. So
we only have 4 teams announced. Out of the 4 teams, I'm picking DIY. I just think the Philly crowd would love it. Will love it.
Yeah. And also too, I mean, I wonder, like, so say if regardless of if it's the LY New Day, like also like whoever ends up winning, I wonder what that leads to that night or the night after if they do lose the titles. I said once again, we'll get into that. But I wonder what direction they're looking to go into because there's so many possibilities they can go into, but it's just a matter of when they actually tap into it. So,
Yeah.
mhm.
All right. So the first championship match that we'll talk about is Drew McIntyre versus Seth freaking Rollins. That's going to be night 2, obviously. I would assume that this is going to kick off night 2, right? Because if you can't close it, you should open it. And that's, you don't, if there are going to be 7 matches each night, I could argue that Drew versus Seth is going to be a better match than Roman versus Cody. But the story's not as good, obviously.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
So you got to don't put him fourth or anything like that. Like put them first, right? Like set the tone right off the bat.
But I mean, it's different dynamic, different match. But if you remember from 35, Co- Kofi and Daniel Bryan, that match that they went on about fourth, and they gave him about 30 minutes. That crowd was still, and I was there. That crowd was full. That crowd was alive.
Yep.
Um,
But the crowd
and
wasn't alive for Becky when she won.
right, because by that time it was. I mean, like I said, I was like, dog, like, it was like 12:15. It was like, and you. But I was just like, everybody was in the crowd like, yeah, Becky, like
Right.
it was too much. Then it took 2 hours to get out the damn arena. Port Authority, your days are numbered. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like they can still go through. Like once again, I feel like they're two performers that you could put anywhere on the card, and they're gonna bring it. But like you said, if you don't want to open it, if you don't want to close it, opening is the thing. Seth opened 35. I think he opened 34 as well when he won the IC title, if I'm not mistaken, in New Orleans. He
Yeah.
obviously that 33. I know he had a match with Hunter. That didn't
Triple
open,
H.
but yeah, yeah. So that was great. But yeah. I
Did
mean,
did he open 31 too with Randy?
yep, he sure did. Yep,
Yeah.
yep, yep. And then yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Like that's what I'm saying. That's the designated spot for him. I mean, why not? Why not?
And
Why not?
WWE has themselves in an interesting position here because Drew's contract is up in May. Seth and
Mhm.
Becky's contracts are up in June.
I mean, let's be real.
They
Like,
got to sign them.
yeah, I mean, come on. Like,
I bring that up because is there a possibility that Seth beats Drew and Damian Priest cashes in?
yeah, yeah. I mean, I mean, it's coming up on the year. So I mean, I feel like at some point you got to at least. I mean, they've teased it a couple of times, but it's got to happen at some point. What better moment? It'd be funny or ironic to see Priest cash in the way that Rollins cashed in.
Yeah.
On the grand stage of the mall, and you know, uh, you can hear Michael Cole say, the heist of the century part 2.
It's a great
you
call.
know, and yeah, great call. Yeah, heist of the century. Rollins versus Sato. So yeah, that would be yeah, because you can't have him do it on Cody because like
No.
they won't you won't make it out of Philadelphia.
He won't survive. Yeah, he won't survive that.
Yeah, he wants to buy Philadelphia. So yeah, that'd be pretty cool to see that.
But what are we looking for out of this match? Because I think there's nobody
I'm looking
gets.
for Judah. I'm looking for, even though I'm a Seth Rollins guy, I'm looking for Judah.
Me too.
Yeah, like I said, once again, that hurts to say. 'Cause I love Seth. Like I enjoy it from the entrance. I enjoy every match. But yeah, it might be time.
We
You know,
forgot about a match
I
before we
mean,
got to the
we're here, so it's like we go back.
Mr. L.A.
Hey,
Knight
yeah,
versus phenomenal one, AJ Styles.
I that's this guy. They better not disrespect them and put them on second. That's all I'm gonna say. This is not a bathroom match. No, I'm serious. Like I said, I love it.
Well, there are no bathroom matches on this card.
Right. So, but I'm saying, but I feel like people look at the second match like Like, remember when Jericho had Owens? It was just like, what are we doing? Like, this shouldn't be the second match when this was one of the bigger stories. This is going to be a great match. That's it's going to be phenomenal, pun intended. Yeah, that should be a good one. I'm ready for LA Knight to have another moment at a major purely. So I think LA Knight should win this matchup.
So I'm with you, right? Because I think that he was hot and they didn't capitalize on him. But I don't think he's a
Right.
great wrestler. I really don't. I think he's fine. He's not like
Yeah.
I think he's fine. Who's hurt more though? If LA Knight loses, yeah, maybe. But if AJ loses, I mean, he's been stopped, started and stopped so many times over the last 2 years.
Mhm.
I think he needs this more.
Yeah. I mean, my thing is, if it's not now, when do you pull the trigger on LA Knight? Like AJ's established. Like he's established. Like at some point, when do you pull the trigger on LA Knight? Like
Yeah.
like they legit created that Slim Jim Battle Royal in Detroit for him so he can get that win at SummerSlam,
Yep.
and the crowd ate it up, including me. Because I lost my voice for a couple of days after. But
Crowd
yeah,
went nuts in Saudi for him too.
right,
Like
right,
he's
exactly.
over.
So it's just like he's over. Like I don't know the match at Fastlane. Like he's like it is clear that the fan base is fucking with him.
But this is the part that I think is always so interesting about pro wrestling is there are
Mhm.
guys that need a win to get over. And then
Yeah,
there are also guys that are over without getting a win.
right.
Where would you like how much more over do you think LA Knight's gonna be if he beats AJ Styles at Mania with no title on the line?
Not I don't know if it'd be like it wouldn't be like a what's the word? Like it wouldn't be exponential. It probably would still be
Right.
linear. But it's only because it's not title. Like I felt like had you switched and put him in the US title match or even the IC title,
Yep.
the crowd would have been on fire for him to get the title because they
Yep.
had been waiting for him to have
Yep.
that moment. So that's what I think.
All
So
right. So
mm,
what we know is gonna be the main event of night two, the undisputed WWE Universal Championship, the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes versus the Tribal Chief, Roman Reigns. Part
mhm.
two. It's been a while since we had back to back Mania main events. Is this the year that Cody actually finishes the story? Like, there's no way that Roman beats him, right?
Like the reason why I'm stuttering because I'm just like in the back of my mind I feel like I know some bullshit could still happen, and they say, I hear Samantha Urban, hey, still your universal champ, and I'm gonna throw something, whatever I have in my hand outside of my phone. I'm gonna throw something, and I'm gonna be extremely upset. It is fucking time. It's
Yeah.
time. It is
Yeah.
time. Like he's got to win. Like I'm sorry, he's got to figure it out. Like, period. Get it done.
This is the first time since Roman won in August of 2020 that I want him to lose.
Yeah.
Right? Now it makes sense. Now the story, like no one's gonna touch his reign, no pun intended, ever, 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 ever. This has been 4 years of utter dominance. People can get all hot and bothered about him working a lighter schedule. To that, I say fuck you. When he shows up, so do the fans. And there has
Right.
not been one bad match that he's had for that championship since September of 2020. Not one.
Yep.
So
That's true.
now we need to get to the point where he can be the babyface everyone thought he was going to be, and the bloodline's going to slowly blow up. I think
Mm,
we've already seen that. People want to cheer Roman, they
yeah.
do, but they won't cheer him over Cody.
Right.
So
That,
that
right.
place will go absolutely fucking nuts
Hmm.
if when Cody wins, but they would go absolutely fucking nuts for all the wrong reasons if Roman wins.
Right.
So
Right. Exactly.
what do you? I guess is there any chance that if Cody wins, that it doesn't that his run doesn't live up to the hype that him chasing did? You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, it's possible because I feel like I want to just who the first feud would be with. We've already seen him go at it 3 times with Seth, without the championship. That'd have been a great first feud after him winning, if that was the case. But we've already seen that, so it's kind of like they would have to wait a while to go back to that. But yeah, I do think, let's say, yeah, the chase. I mean, I can only hope that it would be like similar to when Austin won it, right? Because Austin was so white hot, but it was like it catapulted him even further once he beat Shawn.
Yeah, but do you remember who he feuded with for the 2 months after that?
Kane, right? Was it Kane?
Mick Foley.
McFoley. Okay. Yeah. No, but
corporate dude love.
Right. Okay, got it. I remember Kane winning the world title at King of the Ring against him, and then he won it back. Right. But yeah. No, I forgot about corporate dude love. Have mercy.
So that's why I think I picked Sami Zayn to beat Gunther. I don't think that should happen. I think if Cody wins, it's Cody versus Gunther.
Yeah.
For a couple PLEs.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. That'd be great.
But then you're looking down the face of now. If let's just say that happens for 2 straight months, now Gunther has lost at 3 straight PLEs. That's all the work.
Everyone has to go through the ups and downs, though. You can't always be on top. And
although Cody has been.
Yeah, no, that's true. But sometimes it's not your night, kid.
You mentioned earlier that you thought The Rock was going to be involved in night 2. So let's talk about the tag match. Main event of night 1. What did you call them? The American Visionaries versus the Bloodline. That's Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins versus the Brahma Bull. The most electrifying man in all of entertainment. The Rock and Roman Reigns. I feel bad for The Rock in the sense that when he came back in 2011 and that Survivor Series match, then his match versus Cena at Mania, and then his match versus Punk, both those matches, and then his other match versus Cena, they were all great.
Right.
He's now what, 52?
51. Yeah. No, he'll be 52 in May.
So he's painted himself like, I think he's going to be great, but I think that everyone needs to temper their expectations of what he's going to do. Like, he's not going to do what he did in 2011.
I mean, if he paces himself like how Stone Cold paced himself a couple years ago, he can get to 20 minutes. He gets a 20 minutes match. And that's
but their styles are different. Like,
I'll say Rock, but Rock to me has always been in better shape than Stone Cold. Like,
but do you think The Rock's he's going to be able to do the nip up and do the over the shoulder DDT? He did the cross body off the top rope at Mania in Miami. Like, I just don't think we're going to see that, and it's fine.
No, we're not going to see that. I don't. Yeah, I mean, if you can flip up at 52, I mean, Shawn Michaels there, but that's Shawn. But Rock is 6'5", 270. But I mean, maybe the DDT. Obviously, the easiest move will still be to do is the people's elbow. That'd be easy.
Oh yeah.
So I know he'll get that in there at some point. But yeah, we had a couple of rock bottoms. A couple of DDTs, and once again, he wasn't going to do no suplexes, or he's not going to hit him do the Three Amigos. It's not going to be any of that. Once again, that's why it was a tag and not a singles, because it protects him. That's what I'm saying. I mean, granted, he's older than Randy, but that's what I felt like. I felt like it's like you give them that time where they could get their bearings, and then go really quick, slow it down again. Go really quick, slow it down again. So we'll see. But yeah, I mean, but the match will be carried by the other three, by Roman, Seth, and Cody. So, and Solo, whoever's out there. Yeah.
How excited are you for the match, though?
Oh, I'm beyond excited. Like, I think that I was wondering how they were going to get Roman and Rock trying to test it out. Once again, when Roman got booed in Philly, he was there, and that's also that's a forgotten part of the story as well. So as that goes down, but I would love to see what happened at WrestleMania 27 happen. At night 1, I would love to see him turn on Roman there. That'd be great. Give him a nice little rock, give him a nice little spine buster, and say, when I
on night 1,
or you do it night 2, I guess. I don't know. Either way, it needs to happen. So some turn has got to happen.
I think The Rock is going to pin Cody Rhodes on night one.
Mm. And say, I'm the final boss. I'm the head of the table. And
And
Roman's gonna look
then
at
he's
yeah.
gonna then he's gonna get a little too involved out by ringside. Night two is gonna piss Roman off. I think Roman might shoot him a look or something, and then The Rock's gonna turn on him. And I think, listen, do you think fans would get mad if it's a bloodline rules match and The Rock costs Roman? Does that negate Cody finishing his story?
I don't know if it negates it, but I think fans will love it. I think fans would be hype about that if that was the
So,
case. Because
so
they want this to end. Like majority of fans are sick of the reign. It's over. Like they want this to end. I'm sorry. They're like, yo, it's got to end or something. Like it's out of control.
all right,
So
I have the bloodline winning this tag match. Who do you have?
yeah, I do too. I do too.
Okay.
I say it leads up to what happens in night two where Cody finishes the story.
All right. So
yeah.
that we've covered the card, we've covered the build up. I think it's we would not be doing our jobs here if we did not talk about what do you think the fallout from the Vince McMahon story is and will be. Is there any way that you think that man ever sees ever sees is he ever in front of the cameras again? Is he ever in WWE again, or is it finally over?
It should be over. Like there's nothing else we need.
I agree with that, but that's not.
No. I mean, there's nothing we need to see, nothing we need to hear. I thought that he'd been out of touch for a number of years, anyways. So this just adds on, to it. He should just rest peacefully wherever he's at and just fade up to the sunset.
Well, he might go to jail. I mean, I don't know. I
Great.
don't know if I wanted to rest
Great.
peacefully.
Yeah,
After
rest
what I
peacefully in
read.
jail. While someone says it was me all along, Vince, and go in there and do something to him. So and that's where I'm at. So sorry, have at it.
With all right, so that's tough to get into, but we've been off for a while, so I wanted to talk about that. The other on the positive note, well, first I want to say, based on all the information that we have, everything that came out, what transpired was fucking disgusting, and
Right.
he should be locked up. There should never be a situation or a company or a culture where anything like what he is believed to have done should be possible. And
Right.
I hope they get everybody. I hope they get everyone that was involved, because what we've seen, because what that poor girl had to go through is just awful. But on a business note, I would argue that the business has never been better.
Right.
Since he left. We have 8 consecutive Monday Night Raw sellouts, 9 consecutive SmackDown sellouts. The live event that you and I were at in December in Boston, a house show, 2 days after Christmas. That place was jam-packed.
Right. It was about 10,000 for a house show, which is a lot. So
right. That's a huge number. And then you have what's going on over in AEW. We had the big signings of Okada, right?
Mm-hmm.
And she'll always be Sasha to me, but Mercedes Moné.
So let me speak to that, right? So for those that were trolling on Twitter saying that the CEO chants were pumped in, I piped in. I was there. No, it wasn't. As soon as her music hit and those 3 letters CEO popped up, that whole crowd was there. CEO, CEO. They were genuinely excited to see her. She'll always be over. So, let it go.
Especially in Boston.
Yeah. Right, exactly. So, she was received very well, and yeah, I was happy for her. So,
anything else you want to go over while we have you on Kayfab?
Did we touch on the Kabuki Warriors against Naomi and them? Did we talk about that? The women's tag team title?
That's not announced yet.
Oh, it's not announced yet. Got you. Well, if it does happen, I'm here for seeing Bianca and Naomi. Just so we can say, oh, like we did talk about it. Like we did say it was gonna happen.
Yeah,
right here in Boston, Massachusetts.
I just love Kairi Sane. I just do, and I've always loved Asuka. but Bianca and Naomi, I mean, Bianca has to be on the card. She has to be for everything that she's accomplished over the last couple of years. And it feels like Vince is booking Naomi because ever since she's come back, she's lost. So it would make sense to have the tag title match and to have them win. I'd be 100% on board with that.
Yeah, even though I wanted to be Bianca and Jade, and then it could be like the EST.
So you're leaving out Naomi too.
Well, because I'm like, I felt like you could have put her in a different program where she could have got a look back against something else, but I just felt like people want to see Bianca and Jade. Like everyone is, or you want to put them as a trio. They could be the female hurt business. That would be great. That'd be awesome. Something like that. So, there's many ways they could go with it, but we'll see what gets confirmed in days to come.
All right, everybody. Well, it's WrestleMania season. It's our favorite time of the year. For Hollywood Rayshawn, Buchanan, I am Michael Marcangelo saying go enjoy nights 1 and night 2 of WrestleMania. Make sure that you tune in to the Hall of Fame ceremony when Paul Heyman is inducted. That should be can't miss.
The Dudley Boys better induct him. If it's not the Tory Dreamer, those guys should be there. I know people gonna say Sabu or my guy Rob Van Dam, but like I said, when I think ECW, I think Dreamer, I think Dudley Boys. So it'd be great to see them.
It's gonna be a hell of a weekend, and if anything crazy happens the night after WrestleMania, which it very well could, I think we'll be on doing another Kayfab Critics here pretty soon. But until then, Rayshawn Buchanan, Mike Marcangelo saying thank you so much for listening to Missing the Point.
Miles, are you ready to record our promo for Season 2 of the Wanna Bet podcast?
David, have you ever seen a grown man naked?
Miles, we're not here to quote lines from Airplane. We're here to tell people that Season 2 starts August 18th.
But I like Airplane.
I know you do, but Wanna Bet is a sports betting podcast. Each week we bet $1,000 on the NFL teams and games that we love.
Well, that sounds like fun.
It is fun. And last year you picked over 60% of your games correctly.
How'd you do?
We're not talking about that. We are telling people that they can find us every Friday. So no more movie quotes.
Roger.
Electricast. Hey there, fabulous souls. I'm Stephanie Baklaan.
And I'm Eden Alpert.
And we're the hosts of the brand new podcast, Unapologetically Fab.
Get ready to join us on an amazing and real journey as we dive into life after 40 and own it.
We're all about changing the narrative, leaning into who you are, and living a life by your own design.
Join us as we embrace life unapologetically and redefine success.
This is Unapologetically Fab,
an Electricast production.
See you there.
Electricast. Electricast.